Okay, in this video, we're going to be looking at some of the homework problems in section 14.1. And the first problem is this. A desk has an area of 1.7 square meters, and we want to convert the measurement to square centimeters and square millimeters. Okay, now, we have the area of the desktop that's 1.7 square meters. Now, we can use the conversion table, and I'm going to write this in. That's the basic for the unit of measurement, which is going to be for the meter. That's the basic unit. And we're dealing with square units here. So I'll put the exponent of 2 here for each one of these. Okay, now, because of the square units, we move the decimal point 2 times the number of decimal places we normally move, either to the left or to the right, if we were using just the basic unit of measurement in the metric system. Now, from meters, square meters to square centimeters, well, from meters to centimeters, that's 2 places to the right. But since the square units is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. So in the 1.7, we're going to move the decimal point 4 places to the right, which means we need 3 zeros. So that means that 1.7 square centimeters for the area of the desktop is equivalent to 17,000 square centimeters. Okay? And then we want to convert square meters to square millimeters. From meters to millimeters, that's 1, 2, 3 places to the right. But since the square units is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6. So 1.7. This time we're going to move the decimal point 6 places to the right. So that means 5 zeros will need to be included. So that means we're going to have 1,700,000 square millimeters as the equivalent to 1.7 square meters. Okay, so that's how we convert square units in this particular situation. Okay, all right, here's the next problem. We're going to complete the following. The first one is 6,000 square feet is equal to how many square yards? Okay, now I'm going to do this on a different sheet of paper here. 6,000 square feet is equal to how many square yards? Okay, in this case, I know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Because it takes 3 feet to make up a yard. If I square both sides of this equivalency, I'll have a square yard that's going to be equal to, now 3 squared is 3 times 3, that's 9. So now 9 square feet make up 1 square yard. Okay, so here I'm going to use a unit analysis to convert 6,000 square feet to square yard. In this case, I need to multiply. Now, I'm converting from square feet. So square feet goes in the denominator. I'm converting to square yards. So square yards goes in the numerator. So in this case here, square yards, that's 1 square yard is equal to 9 square feet. So the 9 goes with the square feet. Okay, so we place the appropriate numbers with the units. So here if I multiply this, the square feet divide out, I'm going to have 6,000 over 9 square yards. Now, you're told to type this in as a simplified fraction in the MyLabs Plus system. So if we were to type this in as a fraction in simplest form, I would divide the numerator and the denominator by 3, and that would give me 2,000 over 3 square yards. And then divide 3 into 2,000, that's going to go 666 times with 2 left over. So it'll be 666 and 2/3 square yards. Okay, so that's how we convert that to square feet to square yards. Okay, the next one is 10 to the 7th square yards is equal to how many square miles? Okay, now they have this in exponential form. 10 to the 7th. And that's equal to how many square miles? Okay, now in this case here, I know that 1,760 yards is equal to 1 mile. Okay, so if I square both sides, that means that 1 square mile is going to be equal to, now here we're going to have to take 1,760 and square that, and you will get 3,097,600 square yards. 3,097,600 square yards. Excuse me, is equivalent to 1 square mile. Okay, so now we want to convert from square yards to square miles. Now, that 10 to the 7th is going to be a 1 with 7 zeros. So that's 10 million square yards. That's going to be multiplied by, now we're converting from square yards to square miles, so the square yards will be in the numerator. That's what we're converting from. And then square miles will be in the numerator. So here, 1 square mile, that 1 goes in the numerator, so that means that 3,097,600 yards goes in the denominator. Okay, so now you'll see that the square yards divide out. So now you're going to do 10 million divided by 3,097,600. Now we're going to round to 2 decimal places. So in this case here, I came up with 3.228305785, but to 2 decimal places, it'll be 3.23. And that's in square miles. So 10 million square yards is equivalent to approximately 3.23 miles, square miles. Okay. All right, part C, you have 9 square miles is equal to how many acres? 9 square miles is equal to how many acres? Okay, so here we want to convert that into into acres. Okay. Now, in your textbook with section 14.1, they do give a conversion table that will help you convert from square miles to square acres, to acres. And of course, one square mile is 640 acres. Okay. So in this case here, 1 square mile is equal to 640 acres. Okay, that's the metric. That's the conversion here. So now in this case here, we're going to convert square miles. So 9 square miles multiplied by, we're converting from square miles, so the square miles go in the numerator. We're converting to acres, so acres should go in the numerator. We got 640 acres, so the 640 goes with the acres here, and the 1 goes in the denominator for 1 square mile. So here the square miles divide out. So that means we're going to do 9 times 640. So 9 times 640 will be 5,760 acres. So 9 square miles is equivalent to 5,760 acres. Okay. And then we got part D of the same problem. 5 acres is equal to how many square feet? 5 acres is equal to how many square feet? Okay, now we're going to have to go from acres to yards and then from yards to feet. Because of the fact that 1 acre is equivalent to 4,840 yards. Square yards. Okay. And the fact that 1 yard is equal to 9 square feet. So we're going to have to use both of these equivalencies to convert from acres to yards, and then from yards, well, to acres to square yards, and then from square yards to square feet. Okay, so here we go. Start with 5 acres. We're converting from acres, so the acres go in the denominator, to square yards. That goes on top. So 1 acre, that 1 goes in the bottom. The square yards is 4,840. That goes in the numerator. Here the acres will divide out. But we got this in square yards. We wanted to square feet. So now this is where one square yard is equal to 9 square feet. Okay. So in this case here, we're converting from square yards. So the square yards go in the denominator. Square feet goes in the numerator. 9 square feet, the 9 goes in the numerator, is equivalent to 1 square yard. That 1 goes in the denominator. So now the square yards divide out. So now we can come up with how many square feet by multiplying 5 times 4,840 times 9. And you'll get 217,800 square feet. So in this case here, 5 acres is equivalent to 217,800 square feet. Okay. All right, now let's look at the next problem here. Here we got a rectangular field, and it is 33 meters by 21 meters. Here we want to find the area in square meters and in hectares. HA is the abbreviation for hectares. Okay, so let's find the area in square meters. Okay, the area of the rectangular field, or the area of any rectangle, is always length times width. Okay, so here the length is 33 meters. We're going to multiply that by the height, which is 21 meters, or the width, which is 21 meters. Length and width. Let's see, 33 times 21 would give me 693 square meters. 693 square meters. Okay, so that's the area in square meters. Now we want to convert that into hectares. Okay. In this case here, 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. Okay. So now we want to convert 693 square meters to hectares. So square meters go in the denominator, hectares go in the numerator. And we put the appropriate numbers there with the correct units, with those units. The 10,000 goes in the denominator and the 1 hectare goes in the numerator. Okay, so now we can divide out our square meters and do 693 divided by 10,000. You'll get 0.0693. And that's in hectares. Now, the directions say round to 2 decimal places here. So this decimal rounded to two places would be 0.07 hectares. So 690. So here in the area in hectares will be approximately 0.7 hectares. And the area in square meters will be 693 square meters. Okay, here's the next problem. What is the area of a triangle, of this triangle? Here the base is 18 centimeters, the height is 16 centimeters. Okay, that's 16 centimeters. I know it's difficult to see in this video, but that's the height, 16 centimeters. And the base is 18 centimeters. All right, to find the area of the triangle, we always use the formula area is equal to 1/2 the base times height. Okay, so in this case here, the area is 1/2. The base is the base right here. The height and the base are perpendicular to each other. So this must be the base, and going straight up and down, that's the height. The base is 18 centimeters. The height, in this case, is 16 centimeters. Okay, so here, if we do 1/2 of 18, you'll get 9. 9 times 16 will be 144. So the area is 144 square centimeters. Okay, that's the area of that triangle, 144 square centimeters. All right, here's the next problem. Here we want to find the area of this parallelogram. And here they give 2 blanks, so that means you have to give the area as a number, and then they want you to type in the correct unit in the second box. Okay, here we have a parallelogram, so here the area of the parallelogram is simply the base times the height. Now here they give you a lot of numbers to use in this case, but you only want to use the base and the height. Those numbers that represent the base and the height, because the base and the height are perpendicular to each other. These other numbers are irrelevant. So here the base here is 14 centimeters and the height is 3 centimeters. So here we're going to only do 14 times 3. So we got 14 centimeters times 3 centimeters. And we're going to multiply 14 times 3. That's going to give us 42. So the area of that parallelogram is 42 square centimeters. Okay? So in this case here, they already got the exponent of 2 here to show you that the area is going to be in square units. So you'll type it in the first box of 42 in this case, and then the appropriate unit, which is centimeters. And it'll be square centimeters, by the way. So that's the area of that parallelogram. Okay, problem number 6. Mr. Hirschman has purchased a farm that is in the shape of a rectangle. The dimensions of the piece of the land are 2.3 kilometers by 4.23 kilometers. How many square kilometers did he buy? And how many hectares did he purchase? Okay, so here we're going to find out what that is in square kilometers. So here, the area is going to be, it is a rectangle, so we use the formula for the area of the rectangle, length times width, because the farm is in the shape of a rectangle. Okay, and we know what the dimensions are. That's 2.3 kilometers. We're going to multiply that by 4.23 kilometers. So we simply multiply 2.3 times 4.23, and you're going to get 9.729 kilometers. And that's square kilometers, I should say. 9.729 square kilometers. Now the question is, how many hectares did he purchase if 1 kilometer equals to 100 hectares? Okay, they're telling you that 1 square kilometer is equal to 100 hectares. Okay, so we need to convert that into hectares. So here I'm going to use dimensional analysis here. I'm going to write down 9.729 square kilometers. That's going to be multiplied by, now we're converting from square kilometers, so the square kilometers goes in the denominator, and we're converting from hectares, so HA, which is the abbreviation for hectares, goes in the numerator. 1 square kilometer, that means the 1 goes in the denominator with the square kilometers, and then 100 hectares, the 100 goes in the numerator with the hectares. So square kilometers divide out, and then we'll do 9.729 times 100. That's going to give me 972.9 hectares. Okay. So, since 1 square kilometer is equal to 100 hectares, this person purchased 972.9 hectares, which is the equivalent to 9.729 square kilometers. Okay, next problem. It's another application problem here. The Kramer's family room measures 16 feet by 21 feet. They are covering the floor with square tiles that measure 1 foot on a side and cost 79 cents each. How much will they spend on the tile? Okay. Well, the family room is going to be in the shape of a rectangle, so we want to find the area of that rectangle. So that area is going to be length times width, which is 16 feet times 21 feet. Okay, so we multiply 16 times 21. That would give me 336 square feet. So that's 336 square feet for the area of that family room. Now, they have square tiles that measure 1 foot on a side. So we know the area of that square tile has to be 1 square foot. And the cost is 79 cents each. So that means they're going to need 336. We're going to multiply that by, of course, 1 square foot, which will be the denominator, and then the cost is 79 cents. That way these square feet divide out. So you just multiply 336 times 0.79, and you're going to get $265.44. So that's the cost that the Kramers will spend on tile, $265.44. Okay, next problem. Joe uses stick-on square carpet tiles to cover his 4-meter by 4-meter bathroom. If each tile is 10 centimeters on the side, how many tiles does he need? Okay, we got two different units here, meters and then centimeters here. I'm going to convert each one of these into centimeters. 4 meters into centimeters is this. You're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right because from meters to centimeters, if you recall, is always 2 places to the right. So, and also 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if you do 4 times 100, that's going to be 400 centimeters by 400 centimeters. Okay, so here the area is just 400 times 400, which is 160,000 square centimeters. Okay, each tile is 10 centimeters on the side. So for the tile, that area of the tile, I'm going to do this one on the right, the area of the tile is going to be 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters, which is 100 square centimeters. So we want to find out how many tiles he's going to need. Okay, the area of his bathroom is of the floor of his bathroom is 160,000. We're going to divide that by the area of each individual tile. That's 100. So 160,000 divided by 100 would be 1,600. So he's going to need 1,600 tiles to cover his bathroom, which is 4 meters by 4 meters. Okay, here's the next problem. Find the area of each of the following regular polygons here. The one on the left is a hexagon with a regular hexagon with a side of 6 centimeters. The apothem is the height from the center of the hexagon and is perpendicular to a side of that hexagon. That's 3 times the square root of 3 centimeters. Okay, if you recall, here's this formula. A is equal to 1/2 the length of the apothem, which is your A, times P, the perimeter of this particular hexagon. Well, by looking at this, we need to find the perimeter. There are 6 sides in this hexagon. Each side has a length of 6 centimeters. So 6 times 6, that's going to give me 36 centimeters. So the perimeter of that hexagon is 36 centimeters. And the apothem is this. That's 3 square root of 3 centimeters. So here we're going to use this formula. We have A is equal to 1/2 A, which is your apothem or the height, 3 square root of 3 centimeters, times your perimeter, that's 36 centimeters. Okay, it would be much easier to take 1/2 of 36, that's 18. And then 18 times that 3 square root of 3 will be 54 square root of 3. And this is going to be in square centimeters. Okay, and we're going to leave this in the form of a radical. So just be 54 square root of 3 square centimeters. That's the area of this regular hexagon. Okay, now the one in figure B is this. Here we got a triangle. The base is 8 centimeters. The height is 4 square root of 3 centimeters. So here we're going to use the formula for the area of a triangle. A is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. That's the formula for the area of the triangle. So now we got 1/2 the base here is 8 centimeters. The height is 4 square root of 3 centimeters. Okay, so now to simplify this, 1/2 of 8 is 4, and then 4 times that 4 will be 16 square root of 3. Don't want to leave that off. So it'll be 16 square root of 3 centimeters. Okay, next problem. If a circle has a circumference of 12 pi centimeters, what is its area? Okay. Now to find the area of a circle, I'll remind you what the area of the circle is. It's going to be A is equal to pi times the radius squared. But before we can use that formula, we need to know what the radius is. Okay? We're told that the circumference is 12 pi centimeters. So the circumference, the formula for finding the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. C is equal to 2 pi r. The circumference is 12 pi. So we'll replace the C with 12 pi. That's equal to 2 pi times the radius. And to find out what the radius is, we divide both sides by 2 pi. That will give me a radius of 6 centimeters. So that radius is 6 centimeters. Okay, now we can use the radius to find the area of that circle, which is, of course, pi times the radius squared. And we're going to leave this answer in terms of pi, according to the directions here. So the A is equal to pi times the radius, which is 6 centimeters, and that's going to be squared. Let's square the 6. 6 squared is going to be 36, so it would be 36, bring down the pi, and area is always in square units, so it would be square centimeters. So the area of that particular circle is going to be 36 pi square centimeters. Now, had they tell you to use 3.14 for pi, then you'll take that 36 and multiply it by 3.14 to get the approximate answer. But here they're saying leave the exact answer in terms of pi, so this is as far as we'll go. Okay, let's look at the next problem. All right, the area of a square region is 625 square feet. What is the perimeter of that region? Okay, it's a square region, so that means the formula for finding the area is always going to be the length of the side, and it's going to be squared. Okay, so here, that area is 625, so we have 625, that's equal to s squared, or the square of the side. So to find the side, or the length of that side, we're going to take the square root of 625. Which will give you 25. So the length of the side is 25 feet. Okay. Now we can find the perimeter of that square region. It's a square. It has 4 sides of the same length, so the perimeter is going to be 4 times s. So we do 4 times s, or 4 times 25 feet, because that's what we found out the length of that side is, 25 feet. So 4 times 25 is 100 feet. So the perimeter of that particular square region is 100 feet. Okay. Here's the last problem in this video. Find the area of the right triangle. Okay, that's a quite simple problem there. We just use the formula for the area of the triangle. A is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. Now here the base and the height are perpendicular, so here this is your base and that's your height. 2 times 9. or 1/2 of 2 times 9, I should say. So here the base is 2 centimeters. The height is 2 meters. The height is 9 meters. Well, if you take 1/2 of 2, that's going to be 1. 1 times 9 is going to be 9. So it'll be 9 square meters. And if they say round to the nearest tenth, they may want 9.0 square meters as your answer. Okay? All right, and that should assist you with some of the homework problems that are in section 14.1, which covers the area of polygons and circles.